What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rhett, and this channel is about my experience with quitting drinking almost 2.5 years ago. Today is 908 days, and I want to talk today about the day I had my last drink. And it may not, I don't know. Looking back at my last drink wasn't anything crazy. I The weekend before, I had another long bender. I don't know how long it was, 3, 4, maybe 5 days. And, that Sunday, I woke up like I had so many times before, just hungover, dehydrated, depressed, defeated, really, having just so much regret over what I just did, the last few days, having the same conversations with myself. That was my last drink. I'm never drinking again. You know, Over and over again, I've had these conversations with myself, and this morning wasn't anything different. I sounded like a broken record, really, and I was tired of waking up this way. My mind was tired, my body was tired. I was just so over this, you know, repeating morning of just feeling like shit. And for the next few days, I was useless. I was just laying in bed, just getting up to go to the bathroom or to take a shower or to eat. That's about it. Laying in bed, just having a lot of feelings of regret, of nothingness, really. It was, honestly, it was to the point where I almost didn't feel anything at all, which, was kind of a wake up call. I felt bad, but I was in a place where I just, I didn't feel anything. And it's kind of scary. And for the next few days, again, like I had done so many times, just doing nothing, just like, just filled with like regret and sadness, really. And that Tuesday following, which was December 7th, I remember I had plans to go golfing with a buddy. Um, at the time, we golfed quite a bit together. And, I honestly, I was still feeling terrible. I was in just such a fog, mind haze, and, I almost thought about canceling. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't even want to get out of bed. And, you know, I, I decided to go. I had no energy mentally, physically. I just felt like my body weighed like 400 pounds trying to move around. And I remember, being at the golf course and just going through the motions, literally and figuratively. I definitely wasn't all there. I wasn't present at all. It was a nice day. I mean, it was in the middle of the summer, so it's pretty warm, and I enjoy golfing. I'm not very good at it. I wouldn't actually call what I do golfing, but I enjoy being out with my friends, and just, golf courses are beautiful. I love being out in nature. So, it's a good time. But that day, I didn't want to be there. That's the last place I wanted to be. I just wanted to be curled up in a ball in my bed and just, you know, shut my brain off. And I can't remember how well I played. I Not very well at all. I can imagine. And I remember, you know, it was only a nine hole course. So, my buddy's like, "Hey, let's get some lunch." I'm like, "Sure, yeah." And we get to the clubhouse, and famous last words, he's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" And I remember just like, now that I think back, I mean, it was a couple years ago, but I was just, I remember just standing there, like looking, staring out into nothingness, like, you know, after that little bender I had and just the depression and sadness I just went through for like the 100th time, you know? And I'm like, oh, here we go again. Like, here's your chance to, make a change. And you might think, well, it's only one drink. Yeah, famous last words, right? And, as it was almost as if I was on autopilot. And I said, sure, why not? And, she asked me what size. There's two different sizes. And of course, like I always do, I go for give me the big one. And as soon as I ordered, I just was like, in my head, just like, what are you doing, man? Like, you literally just had the worst hangover, the worst come down, and telling yourself you're not going to drink. And the first chance you get to like actually prove yourself that you can do it, you cave. And I remember sitting at lunch, and we were having a conversation, but like I don't even remember what we were talking about. I know in that moment I was just staring at the beer. Huge glass of beer. I can't remember what it was. I think it probably was Sierra Nevada Mine Haze or something. It doesn't matter. But I remember just staring at the beer, and I have this kind of inner struggle in my head, which I had before, but this time it was different. It was like on one side it was the old Rhett, just like, whatever, drink the beer, pound it. But then on the other hand, there was, this other voice kind of talking to me. It was like I was trying to, talk myself out of it, but it was the first time I consciously was aware of the two different versions of me. And I, I, I noticed like the transition from the old Rhett to the start of the new version of me. Now, I still drank the beer, but something was different in that moment. Like something happened that day. I can't exactly describe like what, but like I knew something was different. Like I I acknowledged that voice saying that I need to make a change. And again, like I said, I drank the whole beer, but it was it was different. Now that I look back at it, like that was, at the time I didn't know that was going to be my last drink. Like I've had that conversation with myself so many times before, and on the way home I still had all the guilt and shame and fear that I had felt so many times before. You know, I was really negative and talking down to myself like, you just had a few days of, talking to yourself, telling you you're not going to drink again, and the first chance you get, you go for it. Now looking back, like I said, I didn't think that that would be my last drink. I always thought it would be, after a long few days of partying and just getting wild. And it was a surprise that it was just that, one off day that I had one beer and I was done. I bring this up because, you know, you might be struggling with the same issues that I had to deal with. And I want you to know that there's always hope. As long as you don't quit, as long as you keep trying, there's always a chance that your next drink will be your last. You know, I it took me years to have my last drink, but I kept trying, as hard as it was, and there may have been a better way to go about it, but I didn't give up. I knew eventually that I wouldn't I wouldn't ever have a drink again. So I hope that this video gives you hope. You know, if if you feel like it's just not possible for you, know that it is, because if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. You just got to keep trying. If if you're trying to quit, or you're in the process of quitting and you slip up, you have a drink, I know how that feels. It's not a good feeling, but you can't take it back, and just start over. Keep trying, because one day it'll stick, and it'll be the best decision you've ever made. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Hit all the buttons. It helps my channel, helps it to get to other people that could benefit from this message. So take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.